tried to refuse admission.
Labor camp, but still 41,500 people died here. In March 1933. So this is nearby number 3. Okay. This may be different numbering. Some old picture. So 1933, so that was exactly after Hitler came to power. A concentration camp for political prisoners was established on this site. It served as a model for all subsequent concentration camps and was under the command of SS. In the 12 years of its existence, over 200,000 persons from throughout Europe were incarcerated here. SS Schutzstaffel.
We are on the entrance of concentration camp. We will start from here.
I need to go around maybe. Nah, I think it can be open. Must be the biggest lie of the whole camp. Everybody who came here saw this. Mostly they understood German. Work makes you
Free. What?
It didn't. But in fact work killed them. So here were barracks, but all of them before Allies, Americans built here, were torn down. So these ones that are built, I think they are rebuilt.
So this is the that's the barracks?
This is reconstruction. But they were trying to get rid of all the vestiges. They didn't want to be punished after war. So they did. So they tried to get rid of all the evidence that would show that they were bloody murderers.
So this is how it looks inside the concentration camp. Wow. It's really huge.
Prisoners at roll call.
So these are those workers. Prisoner workers.
So here were no barracks, here is
roll call ground.
Here is a call ground. So here they had to stand still for hours before they were counted, where nobody escaped. Some of them even died standing like that. It was even in winter in those minus temperatures.
I can imagine the Auschwitz also. We should go there again or
and see it properly. Maybe no.
No? Yeah. German stuff.
That is the gate, maybe. Jour house. I don't know how to pronounce it. Jour is day in French. So, the gatehouse, an office building of the SS was built in 1946. Newly arriving prisoners were forced to pass through the gate with the inscription, "Work brings freedom." Work makes you free. The name given to the pub building goes back to 24-hour duty performed by SS guards. From the sentry post on the ground floor, they controlled access to the prisoner camp and operated the alarm system as well as the power supply for the electrified camp fence. This is also located in the Schur house were the interrogation rooms of the political department Gestapo and the offices of the bloc and report leaders. The offices of the preventive custody camp leaders responsible for the running of the prisoner camp were on the upper floor. So it was this small, it was some
Here.
interrogation building, sort of story.
Government.
But at one time, how many people were here? This is something I don't remember.
Okay, let's go.
Maybe it's written there.
Mm.
I think that watchtower is really original one.
That what?
Only maybe new facade, newly refurbished in past decades maybe. But definitely same architectural style of those camps. That we're watching everywhere, but I think they were every 100 meters or so.
So we're going inside now. Exhibition. Oh. Camp prison.
Yeah. Wow.
Bunker.
What a floor plan. 1937-38, during the construction of the new camp, the SS had a new detention building erected by the prisoners. The official name of this camp prison was Headquarters Detention Building, in German Kommandatur Arrest. But in Dachau it acquired the name bunker. The bunker was a center of terror. Prisoners were locked in its cells for weeks, for months at a time, often in darkness and with even less food than the rest of the camp. In the bunker, the SS maltreated and tortured prisoners. From 1944, standing cells, they were standing within this. They couldn't lie down. Were installed as an additional instrument of torture. An unknown number of prisoners were murdered in the bunker or driven to suicide. From 1941, Gestapo also held prominent prisoners in the bunker as hostages of the regime. In the same year, 1941, a penal camp for members of the police and the SS was set up in the left wing of the building. After the liberation, the American military administration held Nazi war criminals in custody in the building. Later, the building became a military prison for members of the U.S. Army. Okay, so it didn't have any particular significance for Americans because they didn't really know what they liberate.
You can go there?
Maintenance was built by the prisoners themselves in 1937-38. It served the needs of the prisoners' camp and contained kitchen, clothing supply room, baths, laundry and workshops. In the so-called Schubraum, or the shooting room, in the west wing of the building, the degrading registration process began for the newly arrived prisoners. So it was the registration.
Tagging.
It's tattoo.
Tag,
Here.
no.
Number.
No.
They still have it, some survivors. Yeah, dědečkové, babičky.
No, I mean, there are still survivors now.
There are, but it's 75 years, so they need to be some 95 years old, maybe, when they were 20.
So this is how it looks. Those who were exterminated here between 1933 to 1945 because they resisted Nazism. Nazism helped to unite the living for the defense of peace and freedom and in respect for their fellow men.
Máš tam záchod taky. To je čůra zase.
Okay. Traces of the past, the Allah subcamp complex. officers in the inside of concentration camp.
Himmler's ghost. Because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. No.
So, we were not living here, this was living there.
Hello.
Those dormitory rooms were
Mm-hmm.
this was the main meaning for living there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a transformer, right?
I know. Still working, that one? Yeah? Still working?
I would like to go to the Sobibor because that was one of the worst.
Kde?
No, tady je Auschwitz, Birkenau. The worst ever.
Yeah. We went here before in Auschwitz. They have also concentration camp there.
That's called death factory already. Factory for death. But Sobibor, it was also extermination camp, and also some hundreds of thousands of people died. You see? What is it?
National Socialist camp during the war. Mm-hmm.
perimeter fence, partially reconstructed in 1965. The 1937-38 newly erected prison camp was surrounded by a perimeter fence designed to make escape impossible. SS-men kept watch over the camp from 7 watchtowers. 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The instant a prisoner entered the prohibited zone, he was fired upon. Some prisoners ran into the border strip on purpose in order to put an end into the suffering, like this one.
This one. Prisoner shot dead at the perimeter fence, May 6, 1942. Grabe na.
Okay, so how it's here? Outer wall, sentry walk in between, electric wire fence, barbed wire obstacle, ditch, and prohibited area. That's all the same like London. Oh, you can see those bunk beds.
Have you seen?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
To the right. So, how many? 54 people in one unit and 5 units in one house. So that's 5 times 54, 270 in one barrack, and times 48. 270 times 38. How much it is? So there's the capacity of the camp that I haven't seen anywhere. And that's 270 times 38. It was for 10.2 thousand people here. The whole camp. At the same time, maximum over 10,000 people. So, criminals, they try to get rid of evidence here.